Hi guys, welcome to the fourth part of our lecture series for differential equations, and we will be discussing elimination of arbitrary constants. But this is actually the first part of our lecture about elimination of arbitrary constants. So marami tayong mga sasagutang problems in elimination of arbitrary constants, and this will be the first part. No? Okay, so what are we going to do here? This is actually an inverse process of obtaining a differential equation from a general solution. So basically, ang gagawin natin is we're going to do elimination of arbitrary constant from a general solution para lumabas yung ating differential equations. Okay, so meron tayong iba't ibang paraan na gagawin in elimination of arbitrary constant. Meron tayong itong gagawin natin ngayon, differentiation and combination, no? So, meron pa rin ibang paraan tulad ng isolation of constants and meron din tayong elimination by determinants. So, lahat ng yan gagawin natin sa ating succeeding videos. But for this lecture, what we're going to do is elimination of arbitrary constant by differentiation and combination. Okay, so una sagutan natin itong ating first problem. Actually, this is part of elimination by isolation of constant, itong ating first problem, no? Kaya lang, I want to show you that if our general solution is having three arbitrary constants, we'll probably needing to differentiate our equation 3 times. So, magkakaroon tayo ng third derivative. So, I'm going to show you that dito sa ating problem na nasa harapan. So, we have three arbitrary constant here, A, B, C. So, yan ang kailangan nating alisin, no? So, first that we're going to do is to differentiate itong ating general solution. So, we're going to take the derivative of our equation here. So, we have y prime is equal to, so constant yung ating a, then the derivative d over dx of x squared, plus our constant b, then the derivative of our x, then plus the derivative of our constant, which is equal to 0. Okay, so that means in here we have our y prime is equal to the derivative of x squared, which is 2x, right? So we have 2ax plus the derivative of x, which is 1. Then we have b. So as you can see, no, na-eliminate natin itong isang constant natin after getting the first derivative. Okay, so that is why I said this is isolation of constant. Kasi may naka-isolate tayong constant, and by taking its derivative, na-eliminate natin siya, no? So now, as you can see, meron ulit tayong naka-isolate na constant dito. So we can also eliminate that by getting the second derivative. So, second derivative of our 2ax. Okay, so we have our constant 2a, then the derivative of x plus the derivative of our constant b, which is 0. So therefore, our y2 prime is equal to 2a, the derivative of x, which is 1. Okay? So that means we have here y2 prime is equal to 2a. Okay, so isa na lang yung natitirang arbitrary constant natin, ano, which is a. So if you're going to differentiate again itong ating y2 prime, so we will have y3 prime, which is equal to, then we have a constant 2a here. So if we differentiate a constant, this will be equal to 0. So in here, we are able to eliminate our arbitrary constant, and it is equal to 0. So our y3 prime is equal to 0, or d cube y over dx cube is equal to 0. And we learned this already sa ating differential calculus. This is basically what we're going to do sa elimination of arbitrary constant. We are going to eliminate yung mga arbitrary constant natin by doing differentiation. No? So let us try to do this now. So ang topic natin is not like this. No? Pinakita ko lang sa inyo that if you have three arbitrary constant, you will be needing to differentiate it 3 times. No? Now we're going to do differentiation and combination. So, here meron tayong dalawang arbitrary constant, C1 and C2. Okay, so that means we need to differentiate it twice, no? So first, let us do our first derivative. So let us take the derivative of our equation. So our constant C1, okay, will be out. Then we will get the derivative of cosine 3x. Then plus our constant C2, then the derivative of sine 3x. Right, so that means our y prime is equal to C1. The derivative of our cosine 3x will be negative sine 3x times the derivative of 3x, which is 3, plus our constant C2, then the derivative of sine 3x, which is cosine 3x, times the derivative of 3x, which is 3. Okay, so that means our y prime is equal to negative 3 C1 sine 3x, then plus 3 C2 cosine 3x. Okay? So, as you can see, meron pa rin tayong dalawang arbitrary constant, no? Hindi pa rin natin siya natanggal. So, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, because we have two arbitrary constant here, we might need to differentiate it twice. So, we're going to take the second derivative. Okay, so we have our constant negative 3c1, then the derivative of sine 3x, plus our constant 3c2, then the derivative of cosine 3x. Okay, so our y2 prime is equal to our constant negative 3c1, then the derivative of sine 3x, which is cosine 3x, times the derivative of 3x, which is 3, then plus our constant 3c2 times the derivative of cosine 3x, which is negative sine 3x times the derivative of 3x, which is 3. Okay, so simplify lang natin. We have y2 prime is equal to 3 times 3, which is 9. So we have negative 9c1 and cosine 3x. Then negative din dito, no? So we have negative 3 times 3, which is 9c2 sine 3x. Okay, so as you can see, meron tayong negative 9 in both terms. So we can actually factor that out. So we have y2 prime is equal to negative 9 times c1 cosine 3x plus c2 sine 3x. Okay, so what can you observe dito sa ating nakuha ngayon na sagot, no? Well, if you're going to look back dito sa ating given, which is y is equal to c1 cosine 3x plus c2 sine 3x, you will see that this is actually equal dito sa nakuha natin na nasa loob ng grouping symbol natin na c1 cosine 3x plus c2 sine 3x. So that means this is equal to y. Diba? So if that is equal to y, then that means we can substitute that dito sa ating equation. So we have y2 prime is equal to negative 9y. Diba? Because this whole thing na nasa loob ng ating grouping symbol is equal to y. So we can substitute that. So then we can transpose this. We have y2 prime plus 9y is equal to 0. So this is actually our final answer here. Because as you can see here now, after we get the second derivative, we are able to remove yung ating mga arbitrary constant na C1 and C2. So that's what we're going to do, no, sa mga succeeding problems pa natin. We're going to use differentiation hanggang sa maalis natin yung ating mga arbitrary constants. Okay? So let us go to problem number 3. So we have y is equal to x plus c1 e to the x plus c2 e to the negative 2x. Okay? So the same ng ating ginawa nung una. We're going to get the first derivative. So the derivative of x is equal to 1 plus c1, our constant, arbitrary constant here. So hindi na natin isusulat yung d over dx na ginawa natin kanina, no? Kasi nagpapahaba, muntik na tayong hindi magkasya rito. So, we already know this from our differential calculus naman. So, I'm going to go straight sa ating mga calculation. So, we have e to the x here, so we're going to get the derivative of e to the x. So, we know that this is also e to the x, then the derivative of x, which is 1. So, plus c2, our constant, then the derivative of e to the negative 2x, which is e to the negative 2x, times the derivative of negative 2x, which is negative 2. Right? So, that means our y prime is equal to 1 plus c1e to the x minus 2 c2e to the negative 2x. So, katulad nung kanina, meron pa rin tayong dalawang arbitrary constant. So, since we have two arbitrary constant, we are expecting that we will have a second derivative, di ba? Okay, so let's get our second derivative. So, the derivative of 1, which is a constant, so therefore we have 0. Then plus the derivative of c1 e to the x, we have c1 e to the x, the derivative of x, which is 1, minus 2 c2, the derivative of e to the negative 2x, which is e to the negative 2x, times the derivative of negative 2x, which is negative 2. So, therefore, our y2 prime is equal to c1 e to the x minus negative 2 times negative 2. So, we will have plus 4 c2 e to the negative 2x. Alright, so para hindi tayo malito, no, let us name our equation. So, this will be our equation 1, our original equation. And then, our first derivative will be our second equation. And our second derivative will be our third equation, no, para meron tayong malinaw na label. Okay, so hindi tayo malilito. Okay, so now we're going to check how are we going to eliminate our arbitrary constants. So, if we're going to check our y and y prime, makikita ninyo na pareho silang merong c1e to the x. No? As you can see here, we have c1e to the x. And dito, meron din tayong c1e to the x. So, that means if we are going to subtract our equation 1 and equation 2, we are going to eliminate our arbitrary constant c1, di ba? So, let us try to do that. So, we're going to subtract y prime, which is equation 2 minus equation 1. Okay, so to do that, let us write our equation. So we have y prime is equal to, yung ating y prime is 1 plus c1 e to the x minus 2 c2 e to the negative 2x. Then we're going to subtract our equation 1, which is y is equal to x plus c1 e to the x, then plus c2 e to the negative 2x. Okay, so we're going to subtract that. So this will be inside a parenthesis. Okay, so now y prime minus y, we have y prime minus y, and this is equal to 1, then minus x. Okay, so if we subtract c1 e to the x plus c1 e to the x, we're going to subtract that, so this will be cancelled out. So we will have negative 2 c2 e to the 2x minus c2 e to the 2x, so this is minus 3 c2 e to the negative 2x. Okay, so now let us name this as equation number 4. Okay, so as you can see, we still have an arbitrary constant c2 in here. So this is still not the final answer that we are looking for, no? Well, hindi magkakasya yung ating solution ngayon. So we're going to remove this first. And then, sulat na lang uli natin later. Okay, so meron pa rin tayong arbitrary constant. So we still need to remove that. So, ang gagawin naman natin ngayon, since kung titignan din natin itong ating equation 3 and equation 2, we also have c1 e to the x and c1 e to the x here. So, kapag sinubtract din natin yan, we're going to eliminate our arbitrary constant C1, no? So, yan ang next na gagawin natin. We're going to subtract equation 3 to equation 2. So, sulat muna natin yung ating mga equations. Equation 3 is y2 prime is equal to C1 e to the x plus 4 C2 e to the negative 2x. And then our equation 1, our equation 2, which is y prime, is equal to 1 plus C1 e to the x minus 2 C2 e to the negative 2x. We're going to subtract this, so this will be inside our parenthesis. Okay, so subtract na natin siya. So we have y2 prime minus y prime is equal to, so negative 1, okay, because this is a subtrahend here. So we have negative 1. And then our C1 e to the x minus C1 e to the x, so this will be equal to 0. So, meron na lang tayo dito is 4 C2 e to the 2x minus 2x minus negative 2 C2 e to the negative 2x. So, this is minus negative, so it will be 4 plus 2, no? So, we will have plus 6 C2 e to the negative 2x. Okay, so now let us name this as equation number 5. So, as you can see, meron pa rin tayo dito ang arbitrary constant C2. But, if you're going to look at here, we also have an arbitrary constant C2. No? So, we will be able to eliminate itong ating arbitrary constant C2 if we are going to either add or subtract itong ating equation 4 and equation 5. Okay? So, let us do addition because negative ang ating C2 e to the negative 2x dito at positive naman ang ating C2 e to the negative 2x dito. So, we're going to add equation 4 to equation 5. Okay? So, we're going to do that. Sulat muna natin yung ating equation 4. Our equation 4 is y prime minus y is equal to 1 minus x minus 3 C2 e to the negative 2x. And then our equation 5 is, ito yung ating equation 5, we have y2 prime minus y prime is equal to negative 1, then plus 6 C2 e to the negative 2x. Okay? Alright, so we're going to add this. So, if you're going to add this, as you can see, we can still not be able to eliminate our arbitrary constant C2. Dahil this is negative 3 and this is positive 6. So, if you're going to add that, we will only get plus 3 C2 e to the negative 2x. So, it's still, we are not able to eliminate our arbitrary constant. However, kapag itong ating equation 4 is having 6 C2 e to the negative 2x, then we will be able to eliminate that by addition. So, how are we going to do that? Simply by multiplying our equation 4 by 2. Okay, if we're going to multiply everything by 2, then we will get negative 6 as coefficient ng ating C2 e to the negative 2x. So, let us do that. But of course, if we're going to multiply this by 2, i-multiply natin siya sa lahat ng ating mga terms. Okay, so therefore, we will have here 2y prime minus 2y. Then 2 times 1, we will have here 2. Then 2 times x will have 2. And then 2 times negative 3, we have negative 6. Okay? So, now we can add yung ating equation 4 and equation 5. So, unahin natin itong y2 prime. So, y2 prime. Then, sunod yung y prime. We have 2y prime minus y prime will be plus y prime. And then, we have y here, which is negative 2y. So, minus 2y. And our equal sign. Dito na tayo sa right side. We have 2 minus 1. So, we have 1. Then, we have minus 2x here. Minus 2x. And as you can see, minus 6c2 e to the negative 2x plus 6c2 e to the negative 2x. So therefore, this will be equal to 0. Okay? So, now, we have here plus 0. So, ito na yung magiging final answer natin. We have y2 prime plus y prime minus 2y minus 1 plus 2x is equal to 0. So, this is our final answer for this problem. No? So, punta tayo sa problem number 4 na binura natin kanina. No? So, let us write this down here. Number 4. Okay, baba natin ng konti. We have our number 4. Our number 4, anong given natin kanina? Y is equal to C1 e to the negative x plus C2 e to the 2x, then plus C3 e to the negative 3x. So, dito naman, tatlo na yung ating arbitrary constant. So, we will be expecting that we will be doing third derivative. Now, we're going to differentiate it 3 times. So, again, let us name this as equation number 1. Para hindi na tayo maguluhan pa. So, kunin natin yung first derivative. So, we have y prime is equal to C1 times the derivative of e to the negative x. So, e to the negative x times the derivative of negative x, which is negative 1. Okay? Then, plus C2, the derivative of e to the 2x. So, we have e to the 2x times the derivative of 2x, which is 2. Then, plus C3, the derivative of e to the negative 3x. So, e to the negative 3x times the derivative of negative 3x, which is negative 3. So, we have y prime is equal to negative C1 e to the negative x plus 2C2 e to the 2x minus 3C3 e to the negative 3x. Okay, so meron pa rin tayong 3 arbitrary constants. Now, let us name this as equation number 2. Okay, so dito pa lang makikita na natin that we have C1 e to the negative x here and C1 e to the negative x here. So if I'm going to add equation 1 and equation 2, may eliminate kagad natin yung C1 e to the negative x, no? So let us do that. So we're going to add C1 or equation 1 and equation 2. Okay, so i-add lang natin sila, no? So sulat ulit natin. Our equation 1, we have y is equal to C1 e to the negative x plus C2 e to the 2x plus C3 e to the negative 3x. Then, i-add natin siya sa equation 2, which is y prime is equal to negative C1 e to the negative x plus 2 C2 e to the 2x, then minus 3 C3 e to the negative 3x. Okay, so we're going to add them. So we have y plus y prime, but I'm going to write y prime first. Y prime plus y is equal to, so here we have C1 e to the negative x plus negative C1 e to the negative x. So this will be equal to 0. So meron na lang tayong C2 e to the 2x plus 2C2 e to the 2x. So we have positive 3 C2 e to the 2x. Then C3 e to the negative 3x plus negative 3 C3 e to the negative 3x. So we have negative 2 C3e to the negative 3x. Now we're going to name this as equation number 3. And as you can see, meron pa rin tayong dalawang arbitrary constant here. Now we can proceed on this on the same procedure na ginawa natin dito sa previous problem natin. Kinuha natin lahat ng derivative. And then we're going to substitute. So we can still do that here, pero I'm going to show you another way, no? Although this will give you the same answer kahit na gawin nyo yung procedure na yon, but we're going to do a different way here or a different procedure here para magkaroon kayo ng option kung anong tingin nyo na mas madali. Okay? So, here we can actually get the derivative of this. So, itong buong equation 3 natin. As I said earlier, we might need to get 3 derivatives here dahil meron tayong 3 arbitrary constant. So, now let us get the derivative na itong equation number 3. Okay, so we will take d over dx of y prime plus y and the derivative of 3c2e to the 2x minus 2c3e to the negative 3x. Okay, so now let us get its derivative. So the derivative of y prime is y2 prime plus the derivative of y is y prime. And this is equal to the derivative of 3c2e to the 2x. So we have 3c2. Then the derivative of e to the 2x, e to the 2x times the derivative of 2x, which is 2. Then minus 2c3. The derivative of e to the negative 3x, so e to the negative 3x times the derivative of negative 3x, which is negative 3. So we have y2 prime plus y prime is equal to 3 times 2, which is 6. c2e to the 2x minus 2 times minus 3 will be positive 6. c3e to the negative 3x. Okay, so as you can see in here, we can factor out itong ating constant na 6. So we have y2 prime plus y prime is equal to 6 times c2e to the 2x plus c3e to the negative 3x. Alright, so meron na tayong bagong derivative. So para hindi tayo malito, let us name this as equation 4. Now, I would like to review itong equation 1 natin. So let me write that here. Equation 1. Okay, so sulat lang ulit natin yung equation 1 natin. So our equation 1 is y is equal to c1 e to the negative x, c2 e to the 2x plus c3 e to the negative 3x. So I'm going to write that here. So y is equal to c1 e to the negative x plus c2 e to the 2x then plus c3 e to the negative 3x. That's our equation 1. So, one thing that you can notice here is that dito sa ating equation 4, we have c2e to the 2x plus c3e to the negative 3x, which is the same as this one. Alright? So that means if you're going to work it out, pwede natin itong gawin na y, transpose natin to sa left side. So, y minus c1 e to the negative x is equal to c2 e to the 2x plus c3 e to the negative 3x. Right? And this is equal dito sa nakikita natin dito sa itaas. So, therefore, we can substitute that sa ating equation 4. Right? So, from equation 4, okay, so let's go back to equation 4. So, our equation 4 states that y2 prime plus y prime is equal to 6 times c2 e to the 2x plus c3 e to the negative 3x, which is this one. And this is also equal to y minus c1 e to the negative x. So, I'm going to substitute that here. So, y minus c1 e to the negative x. Okay? Okay, so now I'm going to multiply 6 to all of the term na nasa loob ng ating parenthesis. So, we have y2 prime plus y prime is equal to 6y minus 6c1e to the negative x. And I'm going to name this as equation number 5. Okay, so katulad ng sinabi ko last time, no, since we have 3 arbitrary constant here, so we are expecting to have a third derivative, no. So we still have second derivative here and we still have 1 arbitrary constant. So we can still get our derivative here, no. So we're going to take the third derivative of our equation number 5. Okay, so we're going to take the derivative of y2 prime plus y prime. Okay, and the derivative of 6y minus 6c1 e to the negative x. Okay, so the derivative of y2 prime is y3 prime plus the derivative of y prime is y2 prime. and this is equal to the derivative of 6y. So the derivative of 6y is 6, which is a constant, and the derivative of y is y prime, minus our constant 6, and then c1. Then the derivative of e to the negative 1 is e to the negative x, so e to the negative x times the derivative of negative x, which is negative 1. So we have y3 prime plus y2 prime is equal to 6y prime, okay, plus 6 c1e to the negative x. Okay, so this is our equation number 6. Okay, so now as you can see, our equation 5 and equation 6 are both having c1e to the negative x. Okay, 6 c1e to the negative x. So that means if we're going to add them, we will be able to eliminate itong c1e to the negative x. So we'll be able to eliminate yung ating arbitrary constant. So let us add that. So adding equation 5 and equation 6. So let me write again our equation. Our equation 5 is y2 prime plus y prime is equal to 6y minus 6 c1e to the negative x. Then our equation 6 is y3 prime plus y2 prime is equal to 6y prime plus 6 c1e to the negative x. Okay, so I'm going to add this. Okay, so unahin ko yung y3 prime. So we have y3 prime plus y2 prime plus y2 prime. We have 2 y2 prime. Then meron pa tayong y prime here. So plus y prime is equal to 6y prime plus 6y. And then in here we have minus 6c1e to the negative x plus 6c1e to the negative x. So this will be equal to 0. Right? So meron tayong plus 0 here. Alright, so i-simplify natin. We have y3 prime plus 2y2 prime plus y prime. Then transpose natin itong ating 6y prime. So minus 6y prime, then minus 6y is equal to 0. So we have y2 prime plus 2y2 prime, o 3 prime tala to, plus 2y2 prime, then y prime minus 6y prime, so we have minus 5y prime, then minus 6y is equal to 0. And this is our final answer for this problem. No? So this is how we do elimination of arbitrary constant by differentiation and combination. So sa next video, magsosolve again tayo ng more problem about elimination of arbitrary constant by differentiation and combination. So, similar problems, no? So, medyo mas mahirap lang or mas complicated, pero we're still on the same topic. To watch more of our lecture videos about engineering and STEM subjects, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification bell para lagi kayong updated sa mga videos na i-upload namin. We are regularly uploading tutorial videos in engineering, mathematics, chemistry, physics, at iba pang subject na magagamit ninyo sa inyong pagre-review. So, thank you very much sa patuloy ninyong pagsuporta sa enginerds.org.